Hello, my name is Alex, and today we will be learning how to manipulate things inside Excel, especially how to manipulate the data inside a worksheet. When you create an Excel document, normally in the newer versions, automatically you will have a new sheet created. As you can see, I have a sheet 1. If I want to create a new sheet, I will normally go here and click. So, let's see how we can get the values that are inside the cells and also see how we can write values. Let's imagine, for example, we go to cell A1. Let's say we're going to put date, like for example 13/05/2020. Okay, so this is a date. Pretty easy. Let's go back to Visual Basic and see how we can reference the cell A1. There are two basic ways to reference the cell A1. One of them can be with the function range, and as you can see, it's telling us to tell him a range. It's telling us to tell him the cell 1 and an optional argument of a cell number 2. In our case, we are just interested in getting the value A1. So we write A1. And we want this to be, for example, printed to the immediate window. To do this, we can use the function Debug.Print. This function is very useful, so we can actually debug our code while it's working. So if we click Now Play, here we have our date, 13/5/2020. As you can see, I've referenced the range A1 and I've used value. But we can use other things to get the actual value inside a cell. For example, we have .text, .value, and .value. And you will be asking yourself, what's the difference between text, value, and value? Well, to see the actual difference, first we need to get back to the workbook. Now we need to change the format of this cell so we can easily see the difference. We go to Home and More Number Formats, Custom, and we select, for example, that we want, let's say this one, for example, with hour, minute, and second, and for example, we want like this, the format. Okay, it should work. Okay, 13 May 2020 at 00 hours. If we now go back to Visual Basic, if we now click play, you can very easily see the difference. Text is actually storing the value as it is in the cell. Value stores what Excel eats in its memory. And value 2 contains the raw data for this date. So actually, Excel understands that the 30th of May of 2020 is this number. What's the advantage of using text, value, or value 2? The fastest is using value 2 because it's the raw data and it's processed much faster. If you're interested in just extracting text, for example, you can use value 2. If, for example, you want to extract dates or special type of data, you have to use value. If you want to actually extract the text as it is, you should use text. There is another way we can reference the same cell instead of using range. We can use the function cells, which we need to give the row index and the column index. Let's say, for example, that now our data is going to be moved to the row number 2 and the column number 1. If we go back to Excel and we move the data so you can clearly see where it's going to get it from, I'm telling him to get it from row number 2, column number 1. Back in Visual Basic, if we now write dot value and we say Debug.Print, you will see now that when we click play, it does absolutely the same as in the previous scenario. You can also add comments to your text by simply doing like this. Now to finish this video, I'm going to show you how you can set a value to a cell. First of all, we are going to clean the cell that is currently written in the Excel workbook. Let's say we want now to write something in the cell A1. We can do the following. We can do, for example, cells 11 dot value 2, and let's say we want to write a text. This is a text. If we now click play and we go back to our workbook, you can see that we have actually written this is a text in the cell 11. To summarize, today you have learned how you can get the value from the cells in a workbook and also how you can set values. As well, you have learned how to use the Debug.Print function so you can easily test your code. And also, you have learned how to add comments to your code so you can easily see what you are doing each line.